Hey guys, David here. So today I want to talk about homelessness and why I think homelessness will increase in the future, and not for the reasons that you think it would, and why people who are or will become homeless will remain homeless for the rest of their lives or just for a long period of time afterwards. So, whenever someone becomes homeless, it can be from a variety of reasons. It can be from drug abuse or mental illness, uh, or just a number of like bad luck type things. Um, the one thing though that keeps someone homeless, that's a very toxic and painful process, is the fact that whenever you get a little bit above homelessness, where you can experience some of the luxuries in this first world country that we can experience, it's almost like you can't complain about things. And for you to, it's easy to go from homeless to living in motels and stuff. You get a job and you can rent out a place every once in a while, and you're not like on the streets. You're still homeless though. And but there's a huge jump from going from like motel living to having your own apartment, or even having roommates, and living in a house of like four people. That kind of progress isn't just a financial increase; it's a mental state increase. To go from motel living, homelessness of constant reminder every day that you're not worth it, that you don't have what it takes, to maybe having what it takes. A lot of people would rather stay in the I'm not worth anything phase than the maybe I'm worth something, because every time that they fail at being something or maybe being something, that hurts a hell of a lot more than just knowing that you're trash, and just living, being comfortable in that sort of mental state. Because at the end of the day, going back to the four fundamental fears: fear of the unknown and fear of being judged. So if you are constantly, repetitiously going out and trying to do better for yourself, but realizing that, hey, it's a lot harder than it looks to go from motel living to apartment living, or with roommates, and you're going to constantly be failing and failing and failing, and that eventually erodes your sense of morale and spirit of what you are capable of doing. So that's why it's important for homeless people to be given or to have a temporary place to just grow their spirit and morale. Because if you don't have that, it's kind of like it's like with the whole lobster thing with Jordan Peterson. Um, if you guys have read the first chapter of his book, he talks about lobsters and how, like, if they were given serotonin or Prozac, I mean the drug SSRI, Prozac, that they could be reintegrated back into society. They being the lobsters that lost fights and stuff. And in this case, you can kind of make the analogy, or the similarity between homeless people and lobsters that lost in a fight and were outcasted in a way. Except the thing that keeps the lobsters and homeless people, the losing lobsters and homeless people, outcasted, is their mental state. It's been proven in this study that you can have a drug reinstate this sense of security within yourself to be reintegrated back into society, can trick ourselves into believing that we can do it. And it's not just the drug that'll help. In a lot of cases, like maybe it works with lobsters. I'm not entirely sure about that, but with humans, I know for sure that you need to be doing work other than just taking a drug to be able to reintegrate yourself back into society. Every day that you spend homeless or in a place of not being integrated into society or living amongst people, you spend another day behind the curve, of behind and not learning how to be, uh, I guess, not practicing how to be accepted in society. So I just want to do a video on that because I think it's important to understand that whenever someone does become homeless, it's generally, I would say, it's from a lack of identity and purpose. There's a lot of other reasons, obviously, but I would say that at least in the coming future, with the whole AI revolution and joblessness and everything, you can you can kind of see that we're heading towards a trajectory where the housing and rent costs are so high for the baseline of where you can start that if you become homeless, that area of most motel living to apartment living is such a large margin that that's going to capture a lot more people in this horrible depressing cycle of not believing that they can reintegrate back into society. So, um, yeah, I think that's one of the main things that we need to focus on if we want to fix homelessness is giving people a fresh start and a place to build self-respect. And if they can lodge this self-respect back into their spirit and morale, then maybe they can begin doing the work to reintegrate themselves back into society. Because you can't just force someone back into society, they have to want it. But they can only want it if they have this self respect of knowing that they are safe and they have a place to come back to. It's like the psychology, environmental psychology of having a place or a home. There's the big connotation of a home where home is where safety is where you can go whenever you're afraid and you know you'll be okay. But if someone doesn't have that, they're constantly in a state of fear. Maybe not consciously, but subconsciously. And it's almost like that subconscious always understanding that state can become their comfort zone. So it's the reason why like abused people, but abused women is the more likely told story, where they're more likely to go back to a new relationship or go back to the old relationship where they're being abused because it's what they know, especially if they experience childhood trauma that was in a similar fashion. It's just what they know. It's all they know. But anyways, I want to tie this topic into some other videos I'm going to make, but I just want to start with that to give the context of homelessness in general. And yeah, see you guys in the next video.